How's it going, guys? It's K Cars, and in this video I'm going to be doing a 6-month ownership review of my 2001 Jeep Cherokee XJ. If you guys have been following the channel for a while now, then you'll know that I did get this Jeep about 6 months ago, something like that, give or take a few months, and I've been absolutely enjoying this thing a lot. It's literally given me zero problems. And literally from everything that I've heard online is that these kind of Jeeps like always give you problems. Like the Jeep 4.0 is bulletproof, but everything else is what gives you problems, and like everything else can go wrong. So there are a few little things that I am going to talk about, like a few negatives, but I don't want you guys to think that this whole video is going to be negative, because like I said already, I absolutely love this Jeep. You know, it's an awesome off-road vehicle. It's a really awesome starting platform. Like I've never actually worked on cars before, like on my own before this Jeep. I have done a few things to the Challenger, just like a few little things like installing the oil catch can, a few maintenance things like the oil change, oil filter, stuff like that, but not like actual stuff like I've been doing on this Jeep. And I will go over some of the things that I've done to this Jeep in this video, just so you guys get an idea of what you can expect if you are looking to get a Jeep just like this. The one thing that I love about this Jeep is you can literally take it anywhere and just go exploring. So for example, I'm up in this like field type thing with the whole city below me, so I guess I can kind of show you guys, like back there you can kind of see the city all the way in the distance, and I'm just up here in this random field and just sitting here making a video. I definitely want to be able to make it up here with the Challenger. It's way too muddy, way too gravelly. By no means this is not like off-roading, like nothing serious. I didn't have to use four-wheel drive to get up here, but just the fact that, you know, I can come up here with this Jeep, just sit here, just explore different places. That's one thing I love about this thing. So it really is a great vehicle if you're looking for something that's like an all-around city driver. Now, I have driven this thing on the highway a couple times. It's really not the best highway driver, but for like a daily driver around the city, that's what I use this thing for. It's never given me any problems. I know some people have said that their fuel economy is pretty bad in these Jeeps, but honestly I don't even like mind the MPGs of this thing. I don't even know what it gets. I haven't calculated it or anything, so honestly I'm not sure how much it gets, but I don't really care, to be honest, because I love driving this thing either way. And I'm the same way with the Challenger. Like, people always ask, what's the fuel economy of the Challenger or the Jeep? And I never know what to tell them, because that's not really something that I pay attention to, because I just enjoy driving the vehicles that much. So let's go ahead and actually get into this video. Whenever I picked this Jeep up, I literally got it like 2 days after it was posted for sale on Facebook Marketplace. So if you're looking for a Jeep and you're like me, then you were probably on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or wherever you were searching for like months, like every single day, every minute of every day, just looking to see if there would be any new deals pop up. Whenever I saw this thing, I immediately messaged the seller to see if I could go check it out the next morning. So I went ahead and checked it out. It looked really good to me. The previous owner didn't lie about anything, so that's definitely a plus. They did mention that there is a rust spot on the driver's side rocker, which there is a rust spot. That's to be expected with any old Jeep like this, unless you don't drive it, I guess. But there is a rust spot. I'm going to get out and show you guys what that looks like right now. So right here on the driver's side rocker, you can see this little rust patch here. It's getting pretty bad. Yeah, that's definitely pretty bad. I didn't notice that it was that bad, but yeah, that's pretty bad. So I did, at first whenever I got it, there wasn't an actual hole, it was just a patch of rust, and I tried kind of like sanding it, stuff like that, using a Dremel sander, and I ended up poking a hole in it, as you can see, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So I definitely want to do something about that before this winter. And you know, the whole underbody of this thing is pretty bad. If I show you guys the backside here, I don't know how well you can see that, but that is pretty bad. So I definitely want to get all the rust taken care of before this winter, because as you guys know, I love driving in the snow. Now that I have an old Jeep like this, I feel like it's going to be even more fun, especially when I get the lift kit, wheels and tires, get it undercoated and all that. So definitely look out for those videos. Of course, like I said before, every old Jeep like this is going to have a good bit of rust, unless the previous owner just didn't drive it. So if you find one that's rust free, like completely, it's definitely going to be a lot more expensive, because They're really hard to find these days. But I found this one, it looked really clean from the outside. The underside wasn't completely terrible, so I feel like it still can be brought back and fixed up a little bit. So my plan is to get it like the whole underbody descaled and then undercoated, and then hopefully get that one rocker fixed back there, just like cut out all the rust, and then have them weld in a piece of sheet metal. So hopefully that'll get done before this winter. I definitely have a lot of plans before this winter. Like I said, I do really enjoy driving in the snow, so hopefully we can get that lift and wheels and tires, as well as get this thing, like get all the rust fixed up, as well as get it undercoated. Something that I have noticed is that sometimes it has a little bit of trouble starting up, and it's just random. Like, I can't predict when it's gonna have trouble starting up or when it's gonna start up normally. Whenever I first got it, it did do it a little bit more. I feel like every other time it had a little trouble, but now it's probably like, I don't even remember the last time it like had trouble starting up. I don't know if maybe it's because of the colder weather. I'm not sure if that would cause it to like not start up the first try. But there was a time where I disconnected the idle air control, the throttle position sensor, and the map from the throttle body just to clean it out. After I did clean out all those sensors on the throttle body and then plug them back in, whenever I started it up, it did take a few tries to actually start up. I have heard that it is pretty normal for that to happen after disconnecting those sensors, just because the computer has to adapt to those sensors again, I guess. Back to my main point is, I'm not sure why it was doing that. It happens, I don't know, maybe like every 20 startups now. I can't predict when it's gonna happen. I'm not really sure what that means. I don't know if maybe the starter's going bad. But if you know, definitely let me know down in the comments, because I would like to get that issue fixed. Really not that big of a deal. Like I said, it barely ever happens anymore, so I'm not too worried about it. But I do want to keep this Jeep in as best shape as possible, so I would like to get that fixed up sometime soon. So something else that's pretty impossible to avoid with these old Jeeps is oil leaks. So obviously you're going to have oil leaks with a lot of old vehicles, especially Jeeps. It's really common for XJs to have oil leaks. Anybody will tell you that. So I went to look at this Jeep, noticed if there was like a little puddle on the bottom, like right below the Jeep. It really wasn't too bad. I wasn't too worried about it, but I did use it to negotiate the price a little bit down. So on the Facebook ad, it was listed for $4,000 firm. When I went to look at the Jeep, I offered him $3,000. Of course, he declined the offer. So I left completely, and later that day, I messaged him. And I said, if you can negotiate the price down to $3,500 to make up for the oil leak repair, then I can buy it tomorrow. So he agreed to that, and you know, that's how much I paid for it. So I feel like I did get a pretty good deal. It has 104,000 miles on it right now. Bought it with 103, so really I feel like that's a pretty good deal. That's what I've heard from a lot of people. Actually, the oil leaks, the thing did pass inspection, and two of the suggestions that they gave me is to replace the valve cover gasket, which I already did. Of course, I have a video on that if you want to watch that. And then also to replace the rear main seal. Now, I haven't done that yet. I've heard it's a lot more difficult than the valve cover gasket. I'm not sure when that's going to happen. I feel like the rear main seal is pretty much the issue with most oil leaks. Now, I'm by no means a mechanic, so correct me if I'm wrong about this, but that's kind of what I've heard on YouTube and on different forums, is that most likely it's going to be the rear main seal. So I definitely do want to get that thing replaced. And I've heard that on stock suspension, you actually have to take the axle off to get to the rear main seal, you know, take the oil pan off and all that. So it's definitely a pretty good process. So I'm not sure when that's going to get done. Hopefully sometime soon. Like I said, I do want to get this Jeep like done before this winter, which is a few months from now. So other than the rust and the oil leak, there really hasn't been any other like problems that I've noticed with this Jeep. There are a few minor things. Like, one thing I will point out is the headliner is starting to like sag and fall off. This is also pretty common for old XJs like this. As you can see back there, it's kind of like sagging more a little bit. I'm not too worried about that. I mean, it doesn't really bother me at all. I know some people have like custom headliners, which I think is really cool. It looks really good if you do it right. So that might be an option for me sometime down the road. Another minor thing that I've noticed with this Jeep is that the rear wiper blade doesn't really like work. Don't really know how to explain that, but I can demonstrate right here. So if I just move it, it'll just stay there. So I'm pretty sure it's just really rusted out over here. I have ordered a replacement like wiper arm. Probably ordered it like 3 or 4 months ago, and it's been on back order ever since then. I don't know why it's taking so long, but yeah, Eventually, if I ever get the wiper arm, this will get replaced and fixed up. I already have the replacement blade, so it's not really an issue. This thing isn't really usable right now. One thing that I've noticed with this Jeep is that the passenger side rear window does not go down at all. Like, all 3 windows go down except for this one right here. I'm not sure what the problem is with that. If anybody knows, definitely let me know down in the comments. But yeah, it's really not that big of a deal. It's just a window. Like, I still have the other 3 to put down, but it would be nice to, you know, have a working window. So that's just one other like minor thing that I wanted to talk about. Other than those minor issues that I mentioned in this video, I really haven't noticed like anything else, like any other problems with this Jeep. Of course, rust is going to be the main problem for these old Jeeps. As you can see, the passenger side rocker isn't completely rusted out, but there are a few patches on here that I want to try to get fixed up. All right guys, so that's going to be it for this video. Like I said, really not many like negatives about this Jeep. I absolutely love it, like I keep saying. If you find a good XJ and you actually maintain it and take care of it, do all the maintenance and everything like that, then it will last you a good amount of time. If you find a good clean XJ and you maintain it, take care of it, don't beat on it, then it's definitely going to last you a good amount of time, and it will make a good daily driver, I think. Like I said, this one was extremely clean. It still is, I think. Definitely on the inside, it's very clean. On the outside, it's also clean. The only part that isn't really completely clean is the underbody, which is pretty common, but you know, that can be fixed hopefully, so we'll definitely get that taken care of. If you guys want to see a video on maintenance tips for an old XJ or things that you should replace when you're buying a used XJ, then definitely let me know down in the comments below. I probably will be making a video like that sometime in the future, just talking about like some things that I've replaced, just like regular maintenance stuff. Definitely let me know if you guys want to see that, and also comment down with any video suggestions that you guys would like to see in the future, as well as if you guys have any comments, also drop those down below. And if you guys like this video or found it entertaining, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.